Hello and welcome. As you probably guessed, I'm MotherAzure, but also called Maria. I am back again with our pick a card, and for today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit more fun, more lighthearted, a good change to my regular content because I typically do more serious readings, so I thought a more fun theme would be a good change. So we're gonna be looking at what the person that you have in your mind is thinking of right now. Maybe you need some clarity or you're just being nosy, and that's perfectly okay. So I'm going to keep this as short as possible because I don't want to make it too long for you. So let's just see what the hell is going on with them. And if I can get you some tea. Okay, so I'm going to be using these. You saw me shuffle these. These are the oracle that we're going to be using. And I'm also going to be using this tarot deck. This is the Forest of Enchantment tarot, and I'm going to be shuffling that on camera on each pile. Okay, so please use your intuition when you're choosing here because I'm using these like a little bubble, whatever they're called, because I forgot the name. Because I know that a lot of people, when they come to these videos, they're looking for like love or people that they're interested in, and they're going to see the heart and may pick the heart because of that. So please just use your intuition with each, go over each one and see which one is like an energetic match for you, because maybe what I'm going to say, if you pick one just because of how it looks, maybe it won't really fit for your situation. So just be sure to do that. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into a pile. So for pile 1 you have the star, for pile 2 you have the heart, and for pile 3 you have the kitty paw. Hello for pile 1 with the star bubble thingy. This is a reading. I completely forgot what these are and I don't have my phone to look it up, so we're gonna deal with that. I was going to put it here, but it's unstable. So like my mental health, so we're gonna put it over here. In the meantime, I usually like to keep like whatever I use for the pick of cards in the frame, but that's 100% going to fall, so we're not going to do that. So we're going to be looking at this card first, just to see what energy it gives me, and then we're going to get into a tarot for some clarification or anything like that. Before I start your reading, this happens to me a lot. If you are a regular of my channel, you have probably seen this happen already, but if you don't, very often when I'm doing my readings, I always ask before I start a pile to connect me to the energy of whoever I'm going to be reading to, so I can give them an accurate reading with their permission, blah, blah, blah. Just like as a formality type of thing. It's my process. And usually when I do that, I immediately start picking up messages, and my camera isn't on. So I'm just fixing up everything, putting it in the frame. And the thing that I heard for you was like, I started hearing, I think it's a parrot that I've seen on TikTok at some point. I don't even know what parrot it is. Because I do follow some accounts that have like animals and stuff, but I don't remember which one this is. And I'm pretty sure I heard it years ago. But it's a parrot and it's whistling like a little song. I don't dare do it because I can't whistle. But maybe that's relevant. Maybe one of you has a parrot that's a pet. Or maybe you've seen I don't know. Maybe you recently saw like a parrot whistling on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, something like that. That's maybe relevant for some of you. So let's see what this is. Attraction. Number 44. Well, that started off better than I thought. So again, I said it could be any person. This doesn't have to be romantic. But from what I'm seeing here, this person may be feeling attracted to you. It could be someone else as well, so we're going to clarify that. But there's something in their mind. It could be a person that they are attracted to or are trying to attract, or it could be something that they want, like a goal. So we're going to clarify that. But to me, this energy, it's attraction, so it's pulling something in. So maybe this person has pulled you in over time, and that's why you're like, oh, I wonder what they're thinking, because they kind of got you hooked for whatever reason. Or there's something about them that's magnetic, and it causes you and other people to gravitate towards them. We're going to see if this is like an attraction to... Sorry about that. We're still sick and my mom is in the room. So that was her coughing. not like a disembodied cough. So we're gonna be seeing if this is like to you or to somebody else or something else. So let's see, what is this retraction going on? What are they thinking? What's going on? The way this card is also being represented, there's a person here that's kind of contemplating. So they may be thinking about how to go about attracting this thing that they want, whatever it is. So let's see. Ooh, they're giving me, holy shit. Okay. I'm not taking all of these because that's like, what? But this one, that is the Seven of Swords. In this deck, the swords, the suit of swords is called Challenges. I did see this one because like a lot of fell out, so I'm not gonna bring it out, but this is the Five of Swords and this is the Seven of Swords. So they're being sneaky. And we have the Green Mother. This is the Empress. For some reason they're being, if not sneaky, it's like they're being there's an element of slyness or of being very smart, cunning even. So what are they thinking? The Ace of Visions. This person is hatching a plan. Okay, but before I keep going, I usually only get like 3 cards, and I want to clarify something first, and I'm probably going to put whatever card comes up back. But I just want to clarify if this attraction is like to the viewer, the person that's looking at the reading. Is this like attraction toward an attraction towards the viewer? Give me like a yes or no. Oh my god. Well, that fell on my computer, but this is the 3 of Wands. That is a yes. So yeah, they're attracted to you. See, I just wanted to clarify, but that is the actual. And this card came up because sometimes when I'm doing a reading, I use the deck that I'm going to use, and I kind of ask the question for myself just to see if the deck is going to work with me, because some decks, in my experience, are better at helping me interpret things than others. So when I did it, this card came up, and it's giving me the same like energy that it gave me at that point, even though I wasn't really reading for myself. It was just like a practice thing. That this person kind of sees like a future with you, possibly, or the ability to grow and expand, okay, in some way. So, and also this representation as well really reminds me of putting wishes out into the universe. So with the attraction thing right here, I think it's relevant. So the way that I'm seeing this, when I say they're hatching a plan, or at least they're thinking a lot about it, about how they're going to go about attracting you. I don't like the Seven of Swords, and I think most readers would say the same thing. It's like a more negative card, but considering the rest of the cards that are here, I don't feel like this is like malicious per se, even though it is the Seven of Swords, because the rest of the cards that I have here, and especially with this one, like it feels like they're trying to really figure out how to go about getting closer to you. And I heard conquering. It's a little bit questionable, like a questionable choice of words, but it's like yeah, how to kind of sweep you off your feet. They may be like watching a lot of stuff, maybe watching your social media, maybe even talking to like other people, you know, asking about around about you and stuff like that, and just overall it's like they're trying to figure out if they have no, they're not trying to figure out if they have a chance. They think they do have a chance, and they're thinking about the best way to go about, you know, getting what they want, which is you. Now, this person, I was gonna say before that, you know, that fell out, I was gonna say that they give me kind of Capricorn vibes, even though I don't really have a card here that signifies Capricorn, because the way that this is feeling for me is like someone who is very ambitious and goal oriented. So when they put their mind to something, they don't stop until they get it, basically. So again, while I don't think that the Seven of Swords is a malicious card, well, at least in this situation, it doesn't feel like it's negative. But I will give you like a little bit of a warning that if you do not want to be with this person, don't let them push you. Okay? Clear no, clear boundary, and move on. Okay? But yeah, they're the type of person that they won't give up. So like if you are someone who's like, okay, so I maybe like, yes, maybe I want to be with you, but I want to go on I don't know how many dates first, or I'm gonna wait a year before I'm intimate with you, or anything like that. They will wait, like they will do it, like they don't give a fuck, like everything. Like their eyes on the prize always. Okay, again, there's this sense of them seeing you as like a conquest, as like a trophy, which again, I don't love it, but maybe that's just the way that they motivate themselves, that it's like they have like this narrowed in view on you, and there's no other, like everything else is kind of secondary, like this is their thing right now. So they're very intense. So again, if this is not something that you like, if this is not something that you think you want to deal with, that is completely understandable and you don't have to deal with it, okay? But I did want to mention that because it's very interesting. So yeah, they're mostly thinking about that. And the reason that I say that this card doesn't feel malicious to me in this spread, in this reading specifically, is because then we have the green mother, the Empress, and then the Ace of Cups. So to me, it feels like kind of hatching the plan and doing, or maybe thinking sketchy shit. Like maybe if I show up where they're at, so enough times, maybe they will notice me, and like, you know, that type of stuff. It's like, you're like a little bit creepy, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's also giving very Scorpio energy. They may have like that stare where they just, you will feel that they're staring at you, but they just continue to stare at you, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Yeah, that. But it feels like the point of this is to well, like I said, to attract you. But there's the nurturing aspect, and then there's the Ace of Cups, which is like a new beginning, and it's emotions. It can signify love as well. So like the beginning of I don't think there's someone that you are probably, I don't think there's someone that you have been in a relationship with, just because I have the Ace of Cups here. It's giving very, new beginning energy. So, that is to begin, their goal is to begin a relationship with you. And maybe for some of you, it would apply as well, if they want to have kids with you, because the Green Mother in this, like, she has a child right there. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So again, just to reiterate before I'm done, if it's not something that you want, you don't have to deal with it. But yeah, that's literally their thing. That's what they're thinking about. How do I go about attracting this person? How do I go about attracting the viewer? Like, what do I do? What do I need to do to get to this? So it's like they're pondering, and most of this is in their head, because we do have the Seven of Swords. That's mind energy. Swords can represent mostly thoughts, words as well, but it's like with the representation of the attraction card here, it really feels like it's them thinking. So they may not be ready yet to make a move. I think they will most likely be the first one to make a move unless you do something. Unless you're interested and you make the first move, because they're not going to proceed until they have like their actual, like what they think is the sequence of actions that they're going to take. Okay. Or at least have some sort of idea, like general idea of what they would like to do. Like maybe if they're thinking about, okay, maybe my way to get this person, like for example, if say that you like to visit new places, right? Just see new things. You're not like a creature of habit, maybe, but you just like to see new places and do spontaneous things. Okay, so maybe they're like, oh, well, maybe my first thing to do would be to take them to this new cafe that very few people have seen because it opened like yesterday. And if that day goes well, then I'll take them to this concert thing, and then to the theater to watch this new movie, and then hiking, and all that stuff. So it's like they're thinking about the steps that they need to take, and also kind of fantasizing in their head a little bit, like their whole ass life. When I see this right here, and I say they may like want to have it like a child, that can also be part of this. And it's like that mental energy, they may be fantasizing about that and like imagining like a life with you. You may be feeling the pull, because we do have that attraction here. So you may be feeling like the actual pull of them, maybe unconsciously manifesting you. Okay, so yeah, that's their whole mind right now. That's what they're doing. Like I said, they have a narrow view, and they focus it on certain things at a time, and like that's it. They don't, everything else is secondary again. So that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my updates of the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Here we about 2 with the heart that is reading. I'm not going to put this here because it's going to roll away, so we're going to put that somewhere else. Okay. I typically like to keep the items that I put up for you to pick like in the frame, but that's not going to happen today. So we're going to be looking at this first card, this card first, and then I'm going to be shuffling the tarot. Before I start, I'm going to say the exact same thing I said in pile 1, which is sometimes when I do these readings, I get like messages before I hit record and do the whole like intro, welcome to pile 2. Because I do like I do a cleansing when I do readings beforehand, and I ask to be connected to your energy. And usually when that happens, like a lot of shit starts flowing in, but I'm not going to include that every time I do like a pile, because that's going to be a lot. And I'm going to have to edit the whole thing, and it's just more time for you to, time that I'm not going to be giving you a reading, just extra time in the video. So when that happened for you, what came to mind was like the imagery of first butterflies and then ice. So for me, it felt like the ice queen type of thing. You don't have to be a woman. You can identify however you want. Very inclusive here. But it's like ice queen is what came to mind. So I don't know. It could be you, or it could be this person that is kind of distant. Although I would assume that if you're asking about this person, they are the distant ones. But we're gonna see what comes up here. But it's giving like that weird detached energy. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have balance. Okay, so hold on, what is that? That's very interesting to me. This is a waning Jivis moon. But what caught my attention about this card, and the thing is, I don't use these cards a lot. I use them a lot in my videos, but I do readings like outside of my videos, not professionally, just like for myself and my friends and stuff like that. And I'm not used to this deck, so I hadn't really noticed that in this card, this woman right here, it's an older woman, and she's wearing kind of like dried leaves, like leaves from the autumn. So autumn may be like a relevant time for you, maybe like a birthday or when you met this person. But with balance here, what they're trying to do in their life, like what they're thinking about, it's basically this. They're trying to keep everything in check. I would say it feels to me like this person is very busy. Maybe they're not really cold and detached, but they're just busy. Like they are very occupied with a lot of things that they're trying to keep at bay, or several things that they need to run, and they're trying to keep that balance. But it's like the way they're showing it to me, or the way that they're making me feel this, it's that it's a never-ending battle. Because the way they're showing that to me is like, oh, they're fixing, like this getting, I'm saying like, scales, obviously, and like, oh, this getting too heavy, let me add something here. And it's like, oh, okay, that's good, that's better. And then the other one is moving. So it's kind of like they have no way to win, basically. So they're pretty much exhausted. So yeah, if the Ice Queen comment thing, you feel like it applies to them, if that resonates, they may not really be cold, or they may not be they may not be trying to consciously like be cold towards you. It's just that they have a lot on their plate. But let's see, let's clarify that with like the tarot. Ooh. Three of Challenges. Yeah, that is the Three of Swords. In this deck, the challenges are swords. So, they're going through a lot. Like, just with the Three of Swords itself, I'm like, okay, so they're having a moment. Oh, that almost fell. So, the Lovers, and the oldest one is the Hierophant. So, again, they're just having like a lot of emotional turmoil and mental turmoil, because we have in this deck the Three of Challenges. It's kind of like the Hansel and Gretel story. The father is abandoning his kids, but like the main focus of the card is not the kids, it's the father running crying. So to me, that card, the Three of Swords, again, some decks, they depict them differently, and that gives me different readings of the situation. It's great. I love that. But in this representation of the card, it always feels like there's some sort of sacrifice involved, or doing something that they think is inevitable, something that they have to do, or else something bad or worse is going to happen. So, they're going through that, and so they may have recently gone through something that they had to do, that they thought was that they didn't really want to do, but they felt like they had to do it. With the Three of Swords itself, it may have been like some type of breakup. Maybe they decided to break up with their partner, or they because the Three of Swords, it's like a heart being stabbed. So I also associate it with certain types of endings, painful endings to things specifically. So maybe something that a job that they really liked, or any aspect of their life, maybe that they really enjoyed, they have to sacrifice that because of something, or they felt like they had to. So they're going through kind of like the grieving process of that, because grief is not only about losing people that you're close to, it can be about a million things. But again, with the Lovers here, the Lovers card is usually most people associated with love, but it's also a card that talks about harmony and balance. Again, we do have that here, because this is hold on. Yeah, it's like what they're telling me is like they're trying to find their way. If for some of you this is someone, if this is someone that you were previously involved with in like a relationship type thing, it doesn't feel like they're trying to come back, because that is one of the energies that I'm feeling here. If that resonates for you, listen to this. If not, disregard it. It doesn't feel like they're trying to come back to you specifically. It's like they're trying to get their shit together, because something about the separation was very painful to them, but they're not trying to come back per se. Maybe that's why you're perceiving them as cold, especially if you're trying maybe to reconciliate with them. It doesn't feel like they really want that. They want to find their own like balance in another way, and that doesn't necessarily mean a new relationship, although that could be the case for some of them. But it's like just getting used to their new normal. Okay, so if that resonates, take it. If not, you can leave it. And the other thing that I heard, look, I don't know if you are able to like talk to this person, because obviously you're here. So I would assume most people that are like, oh, what is this person thinking? They may not have like direct contact or like great communication with whoever they're asking about. But if you are, I would say, close enough to them to talk to them about something serious like their mental health, and you feel like you want to do that, I would recommend doing so, because what I heard was persecutory persecutory delusions. And those are things that, I'm a psychology student, so immediately when they told me, I was like, okay, so I'm worried. But that's like people who, are having like a psychotic episode. This happens to people who had schizophrenia as well, but people can have like a brief psychotic disorder, which is short in duration, but it can be dangerous. They may have delusions, things that are made up, they're not real, but they feel like they're being persecuted, like people are out to get them, and they may be very jumpy, they may not leave their house. So they have this illusion that people are out to get them in any way, maybe hurt them physically even, or arrest them or anything like that. So the fact that they mentioned that, so if you're able to talk to them and you feel like this is something that resonates and something they would like to do, I would say kind of talk to them about it and see if they need help. Just check in. You don't have to tell them what it is. Just be like, hey, are you okay? Anything going on? Because when someone is having like a persecutory delusion, you can tell. Usually just ask them about their day or their life or anything going on, everything okay? They may tell you, but just saying, because that came up and I'm like, okay, I'm concerned, because what I'm feeling a lot with this person is that they are trying very hard to keep in balance. So they are under high levels of stress, and any of like a brief psychotic episode can be triggered by a lot of stress, especially if they have like a genetic predisposition. So if you can talk directly to them, but you still want to like help them in some way, maybe contact a loved one, someone that can help them if you think that is like accurate. But yeah, I have to mention it if it comes up. But yeah, so again, they're not necessarily being cold on purpose or detached, just that they're dealing with a lot internally by themselves, and they're trying to kind of regain control of the situation, balance everything out, and just find stability. Because the Hierophant, especially in this presentation here, I think and the Hierophant is also associated with Taurus. So there's this, the roots of the tree, they're very well grabbing onto the ground, right? Like they are stable. So they're trying to go from feeling this emotional instability and inner turmoil to feeling stable and safe. So that's what they're trying to do. They may not be trying to like avoid you per se. It's just that they're busy, like literally, and also like in the brains. So yeah, so maybe reach out to them. Like if you care for this person and you would like to help them, regardless of whether the brief psychotic episode thing resonates for you or not, just reach out and let them know you're there. But yeah, they're not doing it on purpose necessarily. So yeah. I was like, is there anything else? But no, not really. I think I told you. Yeah, it feels like I told you everything. Oh, never mind. So there's something else. Remember how I said like the autumn thing? So again, there's this sense of decline. So maybe their mental, physical, emotional health has been declining recently. That's why they're trying to kind of get back up, right? Because they feel like they have fallen too low. So yeah. I feel like they'll be okay, like ultimately, because I was trying to ask, like, are you gonna be okay? Like, should I be more concerned about this? Most likely they will be okay ultimately, but I would say they do need support, and they need their time. So yeah, don't take the detachment personally, because it's not a you problem. It's not your it's not because of you necessarily. It's because of something that is going on with them. So if you are blaming yourself in any way, it's not your fault. It doesn't really have anything to do with you, unless you were like in a relationship with them previously and you broke up. So then it does have kind of something to do with you, but it's not like you are the root of the issue itself. It's just how they're feeling at the moment, and everything else that's going on that is causing them to be going through this. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do all of my episodes of the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello for pile 3 with the kitty paw that is your reading. So I'm going to put that away, because if I put it here, even though I would like to keep it there, it's going to fall and it's going to roll away. So let's put that over there. So we're going to be looking at this card first. But before we do that, this has happened in every single reading up to this point. So let me explain real quick. Before every reading that I do, I ask my spirit team to connect me to the energy of whoever's going to pick the pile, so I can read for them as accurately as possible. Right? So as soon as I do that, most of the time, I immediately kind of get some message. It could be anything. It could be several things. It could be one thing. But it usually happens before I start the camera. So I say it like that it happened before. So the thing that I heard for you, there's this singer that I actually found through TikTok. Her name is Sofia Isela, I believe. I'm going to put the name like up here so you can look it up. I found her through TikTok. She has great songs, but the song that I'm hearing is one that she hasn't released yet. But in the song she says, he's a keeper, he's a believer, he's on his hands on his knees in a theater or something like that. You can look it up. Just with that information, you could probably find that on TikTok. And he says something that I could never leave her, I could never keep her. That's what he says to the neighborhood preacher. So I'm not really sure what the whole thing is, but for me it feels like she's talking about someone who is kind of conflicted about his feelings, because she's saying he could be anyone, and kind of doesn't want to be in a relationship, but also doesn't want to let her go. So that may be relevant to your situation right now and whoever this person is, but we're gonna see with the cards. But I have to mention it because it did come up and I was like, okay, let's see. The song is not full, it's not out completely, but there's like a verse that it's going around on TikTok that she's doing like a preview of the song. Okay, so the card that we have is Protection, Winning, Crescent Moon. Okay, so what is this person thinking? This person is not comfortable. That is the first thing that came to mind for some reason. That it's like because the protection card in this deck, I don't use this deck often, so I couldn't tell you what the guidebook says about this. I would really have to read it. So I mostly go off like intuition based on what the imagery and the name of the card and all of that. So this card, every time I see it, it gives me that sense of the protection thing. It's like being comforted, being safe, feeling safe. This person is not feeling comfortable or safe. Per se. So they're trying to protect themselves from something. Based on the song that came through, it could be that they're trying to protect their image in some way because of something. Maybe or someone else knows something about them that they don't really want other people to know something about their past, something they have done. And there's that slight sense of, there's that conflict, but there's this kind of a little bit of a paranoia going on with them. Even though this card is like, it looks so calm and all of that, it's giving me the opposite energies. It's like what they would like to be feeling, but it's not what they're feeling. Their energy is quite all over the place, and just as I'm doing this reading, I'm getting like a bit of a pain on my abdomen, like kind of around the middle of my abdomen, which it's interesting because I don't usually get like somatic symptoms while I'm doing the readings, because there's really no reason why I should have like pain there. I'm sitting down normally doing this in like a very comfortable chair, so that's weird. Maybe feeling slightly sick. Maybe they're sick, maybe they like I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something. Maybe it's like they feel like, you know, I don't want to compare them to a dog, but it's like the the feeling that it gave me is like, you know, when dogs or just animals in general, they show you their belly. It's like they trust you and they feel safe, so they're being vulnerable. Yeah, they don't feel like they can do that. Like, and actually, the person in this card is doing the opposite, like covering her stomach, which is interesting. So let's see what they're thinking. That's weird. This person is all over the fucking place. It really fits with the song. The Lovers. Okay, this card came up in pile 2, but I shuffled. Like, I shuffle off camera and I shuffle on camera. So the Lovers. What are they thinking? Makes sense with the song again. I think that the song is like relevant as fuck. Look at that. The King of Cups. In this deck, it's called Visions. The Cups are visions. Like, the song is still in my head. Like, it's not going away. I heard it recently, but it's like it didn't come up in any of the other readings, so, and it's fitting here, so. And the Chariot, it's called the Fairy Wind here. I just heard someone say fairy in like the thickest Scottish accent. What the fuck? I got stuck. I can't do the Scottish accent. I don't know what just happened to me. That's interesting. Maybe one of you has like Scottish. So yeah. That's interesting because the protection card, I don't know, like, it really did came up like they're not feeling very comfortable, but it feels mostly detached from everything else that's going on here. So it may be the case that they are having this issue, and then there's the other part of it separately, because these cards right here, what they're talking to me about is them like very on par with the song, that they kind of, it may be with you. Actually, I'm gonna ask. I did this in pile 1 as well because love came up, and I was like, okay, is this like, are they interested in being with pile 3? Because it doesn't feel like they want a relationship. It's like they're in the air about it. Like, okay. Is this about pile 3 specifically? Like, about the viewer? Is this person interested in the viewer specifically? Yes or no, please? Oops. Again, this could have been about anyone's, but it's the more dominant energy that's coming through. So I do have to ask and kind of follow it. That is the Page of Pentacles. I take that as a yes. I usually interpret Knights as a yes. Knights, Pages as a yes. So this is about you, most likely, if that resonates. If not, maybe pick another pile, because literally in this pile, the main thing that's coming through is this person being romantically interested in you. Or at least physically, because even though I only asked for a card here, it's a yes or no. The Pentacles are a more physical suit, and if you look here, this is like kind of like a representation of Hansel, like from Hansel and Gretel, kind of being tempted to grab like a piece of the cookie sweet house. I just realized that as a cookie, that can mean something else. Oh shit. Okay, so they're kind of literally, I feel like the song fits so good. So this person may actually like be of a belief system that's like, there are certain things that you shouldn't do, like give into worldly pleasures. That includes relationships and sex, clearly. I'm not naming a specific religion because I'm pretty sure there are several of these. But it may be that this person belongs to one of these, has these beliefs, and there's that struggle between wanting to be with you, but they also don't want, like I said, I did mention like something with their reputation and the way other people see them. So they also don't want to like be in a serious. So if, to be completely honest, this feels like someone who is thinking about that they don't want to be in a relationship. They would like to fool around, but like no one can find out. Okay, so like very hush hush. That's douchey. Like that's man. Okay. I mean, I don't know. For me, it feels like, are you serious? So unless the other person is like on the same boat and it's like, yeah, like, whatever. Usually it feels pretty shitty, especially if they're like kind of going back and forth between the, I can never keep her, I can never leave her, right? You don't have to be a woman, but it's like you don't want to be with them, but you also don't want to leave them, so you don't want anyone else to have them either. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But that's literally their energy. They're like, yeah, I don't want to. So, and they're mainly focusing on how the whole thing is making them feel. So they are in the middle of the fucking, like, they're in the middle of that conflict, and they're dealing with, okay, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. Yeah. But they don't pick. They don't pick. If it were for them, they would run away. For them, like, not choose. They would not choose, period. And that's interesting because these cards are very positive, but the energy that I'm getting, it's not ideal. They're immature. Like, even though we have the King of Cups here and it's supposed to be someone who is emotionally mature, they are not necessarily mature. And there's something that I would like to point out in this deck, because in this deck, you can't see the other kings because obviously they didn't come up, but all the other kings, like for example this one, they're called keepers here. All the other kings in this deck are humans, and in the book it says that the King of Cups can become a fish, but his is the only representation where he is an animal, like not a human. So I always kind of interpreted that when it came to this deck, like the King of Cups, they don't really completely show who they are. So they're kind of guarded. They may not like open up easily despite being relatively emotionally intelligent. So it feels more immature to me. So they're not being genuinely themselves with anyone, basically. Maybe except you, honestly. But the thing is that they're genuinely themselves is like a fucking mess. I'm being completely honest, because they don't really know. They haven't made a single choice in their life to become. No, it really feels like no, like they've never had to decide something like this, and it's like they want to have their cake and eat it too, kind of like that page right here. So if they could have it both ways, they would, but they don't feel like they can. But they're also not willing to choose. So that's interesting. I don't know what to do with this person. Like, seriously, like I was gonna be like, okay, maybe I should be able to give like pile 3 some advice or maybe get anything else. But it's like their brain is everywhere. Like all over this specifically, but they're trying to rationalize, because it feels like they're trying to rationalize their feelings. Again, this is not being shown to me in the cards, it's how I'm feeling the energy. So instead of listening to how they actually feel and kind of acting accordingly, they're trying to think and talk their way out of their feelings. So they may very well have feelings for you. Literally, we have the Lovers, but they won't let themselves completely process those feelings or accept those feelings. And because it's like they're too afraid of how it would affect them. And to be honest, like, if I were to give you any advice, if you let me, they're not worth your time. Unless you're like, if you are expecting them to finally choose you, and to be serious and to commit, I don't feel like they will, to be honest. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Even though I feel like they would like to, it doesn't feel like they will. Okay. At least not in like the immediate future. So if that's what you are expecting, maybe work on moving on. If that's not what you're expecting, you just want to fool around, go ahead, right? But it's like they're not reliable. They're not a reliable partner, at least not right now in the situation that they're in, because they're way more worried about how they look to others than what they actually want. So it's kind of like they're willing to sacrifice what it is that they truly, truly want, that they know would make them happy, just to make other people happy and keep their reputation, whatever their reputation is. Okay. So status is something that is very important to them, and they may feel like you are somehow below them, or below the people that, or the people that they want to keep happy will think that you are below them. And ew, sorry, I just don't like that. I feel like that's fucking stupid and it's bullshit. But yeah, it does feel like that. They're not, even though they would like to, it really does feel like they're uncomfortable. Like they're not. So yeah. I don't know why. I feel like I need to get something else for you. What is this person thinking? Oh my god. Yep. Death. This black shuck. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Yeah. I asked, like, I was gonna ask something more specific, but instead of like just shuffling and see what came up, but I ended up just asking what they're thinking. And black shuck is a death card. So they are thinking of a way to literally end the situation. That may mean ending whatever relationship they have with you, or ending something else. I can't tell you which of the two. It's probably going to be different for everyone, but they're not willing to keep going like this, because like I said, they're super fucking uncomfortable. They really don't want to be in this internal battle anymore. So they're trying to find a way out of this. Like I said, if they could run, they would. But if they could like have both options, like have it both ways, they would as well. They like they would rather have it both ways or run. Like they don't want to stay in the middle in whatever situation this is right now. So they're going to make a choice, and that choice may not be the best one in my opinion, but it's like it's up to them, but yeah, they're mainly thinking about that. So geez, look up the song, because it's literally everything that came through in this reading. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my episode channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much love to you. Bye bye.